prepositions in both English and Latin are common. Looking at this list, this is a partial list of English prepositions. A lot of the times prepositions can tell us location, like in, on, under, and they can tell us the instrument by which we did something, so by means of or with, and they can tell us a lot of different things. So prepositions always come before a noun. So for example, the first word, about my friend. I was talking about my friend. About my friend is a prepositional phrase. My friend is the object of the preposition about because it comes after the word about. On the porch is the direct object. On is the preposition. So you're going to see this in Latin as well. So let's look at some Latin notes. Prepositions in Latin are words that are just treated like regular vocabulary words, except we need to know two things about them. We need to know, one, the meaning, and two, the case that the noun that follows it, or the object of that preposition, has to be in. So for example, with the word ad, I need to know that ad can mean to, toward, or near. And I also need to know that it is a preposition that comes before a noun in the casu accusativo, or the accusative case. Nouns in Latin are either going to, prepositions in Latin rather, are either going to take the accusative case or the ablative case. Let's look at an example. If I wanted to say I am going to Italy with friends, I would say eo for I am going ad Italiam, to Italy, and then cum amicis, with friends. Ad comes before Italiam, which is accusative, because ad is a preposition with the accusative case. Cum amicis, cum takes the object amicis, which is ablative, because cum is a preposition with the ablative. These prepositional phrases, I like to think of them as sense units when I'm breaking up a sentence that might be difficult. And just know that ad Italiam will always be one chunk like that. Cum amicis will always be together. You're never separating your object of the preposition from the preposition, and that's important to note. So heading back up here, when I'm memorizing a new Latin preposition and I'm learning its meaning, do I memorize the case that comes after it, the case of the noun that comes after it, or is there an easier way? And the answer, of course, is that there is an easier way to do this. So we have this acronym, SID space, standing for the prepositions sub, in, de, sine, pro, ab, cum, let me spell that well, and then e or x. E and x are the same thing, by the way. Ex Italia, x coming before a vowel, like in ex agro, or e Roma, out of Rome. So it's just that E comes before a consonant, X comes before a vowel. But it's the same exact word. E and X both mean out of. So, and this is explained down here too for you. So if you know that SID space, these prepositions all take the ablative, you can also know that any preposition not on this list, any preposition that is not sub, in, de, sine, pro, ab, cum, or x, takes the accusative case. Only these prepositions take the ablative case. So these prepositions come before nouns in the ablative. Every other preposition in Latin is going to take the accusative case. So that's super easy. There's one little caveat here. For example, the preposition in, if you put it before the ablative, it can mean in or on. If you put it before the accusative, it means into or onto. We call this the accusative of place to which. So when you're talking about motion, you're using the accusative case. So in arcam, into the box. In saculum, into my bag. If I just had in arca, it would be in the box, or in saculo, in the bag. And the difference there is motion. So when I say something like I am putting this into the box, or I am putting this into my bag, when you have a motion idea, that's when you're using the accusative of place to which, because you need to talk about the place to which you are moving something. The ablative of place where, so for example, in arca, in the box, that shows sedentary location. Like ubi est, where is it? Est in arca, it's in the box. I'm not putting it into the box. It's not moving around into the box. And I would never say it's into the box. I always say it's in the box. So when you're talking about location and there's no movement, most of the time your verb is going to be est or some form of a being verb. So like in est, like in plus est, meaning it is in. You're going to be using the ablative of place where. So if there's motion, it's the accusative. If there's no motion, it's the ablative of place where. The preposition ad can also be used to express the accusative of place to which. So I used that in the previous example as well, but navigamos ad insulam, we are sailing toward the island, implying that there's motion. Ambulo ad vilam, I am walking toward the farmhouse.